if you imagine a pre-existing superintelligence that is out there and that has created the world and that has full control over the world, there might be a different set of options available for us humans in deciding how we relate to that. But in this case, there are additional options on the table in that we actually have to figure out how to design it. We get to choose how to build it.
Up to a point, because you raised the specter of us losing control of it. To me, it creates inevitably. By the way, much of this is science fiction movie material. There's all kinds of interesting speculations in your book, some of which would make wonderful movies, and some of which maybe less so. But to me, it sounds like you're trying to question. You're raising the question of whether this power that we're going to unleash might be a power that would not care about us. It would be the equivalent of putting a God in charge of the universe who's not benevolent. And you're suggesting that in the creation of this power, we should try to steer it in a positive direction.
So in these, in the first type of scenario that I mentioned, where you have a singleton forming because the first superintelligence is so powerful, then yes, as I think a lot will depend on what that superintelligence would want. And the generic failure mode there, I think, is not so much that you would get a superintelligence that's like hostile or evil or hates humans. It's just that it would have some goal that is indifferent to humans. The standard example being that of a paperclip maximizer. You imagine an artificial agent his utility function is, say, linear in the number of paperclips it produces over time. But it is super intelligent. It's extremely clever at figuring out how to mobilize resources to achieve this goal. And then you start to think through, how would such an agent go about maximizing the number of paperclips that will be produced? And you realize that it would have an instrumental reason to get rid of humans, in as much as maybe humans would otherwise try to shut it off. And it can predict that there will be much fewer paperclips in the future if it's no longer around to build them. So that would already create as a side effect an incentive for it to eliminate humans. Also, human bodies consist of atoms, and a lot of juicy atoms that could be used to build some really nice paperclips. And so again, as a side effect, it might have reasons to transform our bodies and the ecosphere into things that would be more optimal from the point of view of paperclip production.